Most people have at least one friend who smiles to your face but secretly thinks you're a fool, an easy mark, someone they can push around without consequence. They feel that you don't deserve their respect. In this video, I'll reveal 7 uncommon signs this is happening in your circle, backed by psychology and ancient Stoic insights most guys ignore. If you recognize any of these signs, you must cut them off immediately because they're subtly hindering your growth. So, remove all distractions and watch till the end. Oh, and before we begin, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We begin with the first sign. 1. They test your limits with insults disguised as jokes to know how much you can tolerate. You are in a gathering, and all of a sudden, you immediately become the center of mockery, a joke that everyone should laugh at. Not a healthy banter exchange, just you taking all the insults about your flaws and insecurities. Real friends know where the line is and never tiptoe across it for laughs. But when someone repeatedly disguises insults as just jokes, constantly reminding you of the mistakes you regretted making in the past that they're aware of, and even worse, adding subtle lies to make it funnier, they're not being playful. They're running quiet experiments to see how much of the insults you'll tolerate. Each time you laugh it off or say nothing, you give them more evidence that you're a pushover, that you'll prioritize keeping the friendship over demanding respect. In social psychology, this reflects subtle dominance testing seen in group hierarchies. The tester elevates their status by confirming you're unwilling or unable to push back. It's a low-risk way for them to feel superior without open conflict. Most people, especially men, miss this because they confuse it with thick-skinned friendship banter. But true banter flows both ways and stops when someone signals discomfort. Here, the joke only targets your sore spots, and it escalates slightly each time, waiting for you to finally snap or prove you won't. The next time it happens, the best way to respond is to enforce the boundary once, calmly, firmly, without anger or explanation, by saying, "I don't like jokes about that. Don't bring it up again." Then watch. If they respect it, great. They might not see you as a fool after all. If they smirk, double down, or repeat it again next time, they've confirmed their view of you that you can no longer change. At that point, quietly create distance. Fools chase approval, the wise protect their freedom. 2. They give you advice you never asked for, but brush off the ones you give them. I want you to observe closely how the conversation flows when you share something about your life, a new job idea, a dating situation, or even a small habit you're trying to change. If they immediately launch into an unsolicited lecture that you are obviously aware of, breaking down everything you're doing wrong with that confident, slightly condescending tone, it's not because they're genuinely helpful, it's because they've already cast you in the role of the clueless one who needs their wisdom. The real tell comes when it's them that shared something about their life. Offer them the same kind of input on their life, point out a blind spot in their career move, their toxic relationship pattern, or their spending habits, and notice the shutdown. Sudden subject change, eye-rolling. They will say things like, "Yeah, but my situation is different," or outright dismissal. Your advice doesn't land because, in their mind, it's coming from the designated fool. Why would the student teach the master? The deeper dynamic is paternalism. They're treating you like a well-meaning but incompetent child, quietly asserting intellectual superiority. By giving guidance you didn't seek while rejecting yours outright, they reinforce the hierarchy where they're the adult and you're the perpetual kid who is just figuring out life. Only a few people notice this because unsolicited advice feels like care on the surface, but when it's consistently non-reciprocal, it's a subtle way to keep you small. The mistake a lot of you make in this situation is that you go ahead chasing their validation, trying to prove you're worth listening to, which is just feeding the dynamic. Instead, stop volunteering your own advice unless it's explicitly welcomed, and quietly reduce how much of your life you expose to their judgment. And when next they start giving you a sermon you didn't ask for, respond in a way that tells them that you don't need the advice, but not in a rude way. Just say, "Thanks, but I am already aware," and move on. No debate, no defense. This action starves them of the feeling of paternalism over you. And over time, they either stop giving those silly pieces of advice like they know everything, or they might even decide to slowly end the friendship, which is the best. But at least they know not to mess with you anymore. 3. They use the information you gave them before to act like they know a lot about you in front of others. You once opened up about something, a tough breakup, a rough day at work, a fear you rarely admit, and it felt safe because they're your friend. Then, weeks later, in a group setting, they casually toss it out. "Yo, remember when he got completely played by that girl? Man, she did him dirty," followed by laughter from everyone. They frame it as a funny story, but notice how the room's energy shifts. The spotlight swings to your embarrassment, and they get the social reward of being seen as the funny one, the subtle status boost for being the one who knows the dirt on most people. People who respect you don't weaponize your vulnerability. They understand that trust is fragile, and once shared, private pain stays private. But when someone repeatedly leaks your private mess for group entertainment, they're both careless and strategic. Because in social psychology, this is a form of social sacrificing. They offer you up as the momentary scapegoat to strengthen their own bonds with the group. By making you the butt of the joke, they signal to everyone around that they are better than you. It's a cheap, low-effort way to climb the subtle friend group hierarchy, and it only works if they believe you won't push back or leave. Most people miss the darker incentive by only calling it gossip or betrayal. They fail to realize that it's rarely about malice alone. It's about gaining quick social points at the cost of your dignity. And because it's usually disguised as a funny story, it's hard to confront without looking overly sensitive. The best thing you should do as a Stoic enthusiast the next time it happens is to remain calm and let them laugh. Then address it privately and once. Calmly say, "I shared that with you in private, and you brought it up in front of others." No emotion, no lecture, and observe their reaction. Their reaction tells you everything. If they respect you enough, they will apologize and promise to never do that again. But if they start getting defensive, calling you emotionally sensitive for wanting your private matters to stay private, then it's about time you cut them off. Because it means they've already decided your feelings are less important than their social currency. From there, adjust accordingly, share less, even with the ones that initially apologized and promised to never do it again. Why? Because if they could do it once, then they can do it again. And quietly redirect your time toward people who don't need to dim your light to feel brighter themselves. The wise choose company that honors their trust, not exploits it. 4. They want you to always be available, but won't want to reciprocate the availability. You notice the pattern. Their name pops up on your phone only when there's a crisis on their end. They need a ride to the airport at 5 a.m., a quick loan to help pay back debts that's on their neck, help moving furniture. You show up, you listen, you deliver, because that's what friends do, right? But every single time the roles reverse, when you're the one struggling, they come up with all sorts of stupid excuses of why they can't help you out. This isn't mere flakiness or being too busy. The fact is, they don't see you as a full person with your own highs and lows. They see you as a reliable tool in their kit, someone predictable, always available, and unlikely to say no. In their head, you're not an equal friend. You're a resource fool, high utility, low maintenance, zero expectation of payback. They calculate, often unconsciously, that you'll keep giving without ever demanding, which makes you safe to exploit. You can also call this a one-sided friendship, because true equals exchange energy freely, without keeping score. Here, the friendship is engineered around their convenience alone. And because you keep answering the call, you reinforce their view that you're the kind of person who exists to serve, not to be served. If you're in this situation right now, I want you to start mirroring their energy. The next time they reach out for a favor, respond slowly. Give them those flimsy excuses they gave you when you asked for their help. And proactively invest your availability in people who reciprocate the availability. People who contact you just to see how you're doing or what they can do for you, not just what you can do for them. 5. They undermine your wins with negativity. You finally have something worth celebrating, a promotion, a new relationship, and you share it excitedly with your friend. Their response? Immediate deflation. That's great, man, but wait until the honeymoon phase ends. She'll probably show her true colors. Or, don't get too excited. The pay isn't even worth celebrating. On the surface, it sounds like they're just being realistic, keeping you grounded with tough love. But notice the pattern. They rarely, if ever, give you positive energy when the news is bad. When you're down, they might pile on the misery or go silent. Yet the moment you're up, even slightly, they rush in with stupid quotes, risks, and worst-case scenarios. They can't allow you a clean, untainted moment of feeling good. This isn't caution, it's envy masked as wisdom. Deep down, your brief superiority, whether in happiness, achievement, or optimism, threatens their internal ranking. By injecting doubt, they pull you back down to or below their level while positioning themselves as the wiser, more clear-eyed one. They see genuine optimism as naivety, and anyone who celebrates his little wins as a fool waiting to be disappointed. Most people label this hating or jealousy, which is true, but the subtler truth is that it's protective sabotage. They dim your light, so their own doesn't feel quite so dim. You must stop sharing your highs with them. Next victory, keep it to yourself or share it only with people who respond with genuine uplift. Internally, train yourself to celebrate privately and fully. The wise draw satisfaction from their own judgment, not from the judgment of others. Over time, you'll notice who amplifies your good news and who instinctively mutes it. Align with the amplifiers. The rest? Leave them and their skepticism. It's their burden, not yours. 6. They let others disrespect you without trying to defend you. You're in a group setting, everyone's laughing, stories flying, and someone lands a sharp roast at you. Not playfully, but an insanely direct roast, maybe even personal. The room goes quiet for a while, waiting to see how you react. Your friend doesn't step in. No attempt to redirect or change the topic, not even an uncomfortable shift in posture. They just laugh along, stay silent, or worse, pile on the misery with their own roast to keep the momentum going. If the roles were reversed, if someone came at them the same way, you know they'd expect you to have their back. But with you, there's no instinct to protect. They let the disrespect slide because in their eyes, you're not someone whose status needs guarding. You're the safe target, the one who can take it without consequences. This isn't just cowardice or conflict avoidance. Psychology studies on bystander behavior and group dynamics show that when people stay complicit or join in mild aggression towards someone, it often signals low regard for that person's social standing. Defending you would cost them group approval or risk making them the next target. But since they don't view you as an equal or someone valuable to the hierarchy, they gain more by staying neutral or complicit than by sticking up for you. Most people call this not wanting drama or going with the flow, which can be true, but it misses the fact that true loyalty shows up in small, instinctive defenses. The friend who quietly shuts down a cheap shot, who changes the subject when you're being piled on, who gives a look that says too far, that's someone who sees you as a friend. You must start observing those who naturally shield you in groups, even subtly, and those who don't. Next time it happens, don't confront it in the moment. That makes it look like you were offended by the joke. Remain calm and privately note to yourself those who didn't show any hint of trying to defend you. Then quietly adjust. Spend more group time with those who defend quietly and instinctively, and less with those who treat your dignity as optional. As a Stoic enthusiast, you must never beg for protection. Simply align with people who offer it without being asked. 7. They assume you'll always forgive or forget their offenses toward you. They cancel last minute without a real apology, tell hurtful and personal jokes about you in a group setting, tell a small lie that inconveniences you, and then, the next time you see them, they act like nothing happened. No acknowledgement of their mistakes, no remorse or change in behavior. They greet you with the same casual energy, maybe even ask you for a favor, confidently betting that you'll let it slide because you're the chill one, the understanding one, the one who doesn't make waves or take stuff like that personally. But chill here is just code for predictable pushover. They've learned, through repeated testing, that you absorb the cost of their disrespect without ever making them pay a price. Each time you forgive without accountability or quietly move on without confrontation, they file it away as confirmation. You're the kind of person who prioritizes fake harmony over real respect. They don't fear losing you because they believe that you can't handle losing them as friends, that your tolerance has no limit. They know you'll rationalize their behavior, downplay the hurt, or just swallow it to avoid conflict. In their eyes, someone who consistently enforces no consequences isn't mature. They're a fool who doesn't have boundaries nor rules. Whenever they come to you like they didn't just finish doing something stupid, don't just go with the flow. Remind them of their stupidity until they acknowledge it themselves. If they never do and just steamroll into normalcy, you've got your answer. Then cut ties gracefully. No dramatic speech. No angry ghosting, just slow fade, less availability, shorter replies, more distance. The wise don't announce their departures from people who never noticed their worth. Real friends know respect is maintained through mutual accountability. Those who bank on your endless forgiveness aren't friends. They're collectors of free passes from someone they've already decided won't cash them in. Protect your peace by giving it to those who never make you question its price. Epictetus once said, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with friends and family. I'll see you in my next video.